In 1328, there was a terrible plague that struck Europe, the Black Death. The Black Death was a very serious infection. Nearly one-third of the population died. This is about 200 million people in Europe alone. In 1328, there was also an outbreak in China that caused the population to drop from 125 million people to 90 million people in just 50 years. About 7,500 victims of the disease died every day. The Black Death reached England in 1348. Bristol was an important European port and city in England during the medieval era. It is widely believed that Bristol was the place where the Black Death first reached England. The plague reached England during the summer months between June and August. The Black Death reached London by November 1st, 1348. London was a crowded city with a population of around 70,000. The sanitation in London was poor and living conditions were filthy. The River Thames brought more ships and infection to London, which spread to the rest of England. The crowded, dirty living conditions of England cities and rats led to the rapid spread of the disease. Church records that the actual death in London was approximately 20,000. Between 1348 and 1350, they killed about 30 to 40% of the population in England, which at the time was estimated to be about 5 to 6 million people. Many people were thrown into open communal pits. The oldest and youngest and poorest died first. Whole villages and towns in England simply ceased to exist after the Black Death. Even doctors were afraid to be near the infected people. They would wear ankle-length overcoats and a bird-like beak mask, often filled with sweet or strong-smelling substances to override the smell of the dying. They would also wear gloves, boots, a brim hat, and an outer overclothing garment. During the Middle Ages, it was essential that people were given the last rites and had a chance to confess their sins before they died. The spread of the deadly plague in England was swift, and the death rate from almost 50% in isolated populations such as monasteries. There were not enough clergy to offer the last rites or give support and help to the victims. The situation was so bad that Pope Clement VI was forced to grant remission of sins to all who died of the Black Death. Victims were allowed to confess their sins to one another. The Church could offer no reason for the deadly disease, and beliefs were sorely tested. There had such a devastating effect that people started to question religion, and such doubts ultimately led to the English Reformation. People became disillusioned with the Church, and its power and influence went into decline. Other consequences and effects of the Black Death were that prices and wages rose. There was also greater value that was placed on labor. Farming land was given over to pasturing, which was much less labor-intensive, and the change in farming led to boost in the cloth and woolen industry, and peasants moved from the country to towns.